Is it just me, or does this sound like a creative excuse to commit adultery? The India Times reports that a woman in the city of Pratapgarh was so addicted to a game called Ludo that when she gambled with her landlord and had no money to wager with, she put herself at stake and lost. The woman, called Renu, had a worrisome addiction to the game. She had been known to engage in this activity with her landlord in the past. Then one day, when the two were playing the game and placing bets, Renu put herself at stake as she ran out of all her money. She then called her husband and recounted the whole ordeal to him. He traveled to their town and reported the incident to the authorities there. According to Renu's spouse, he once lived in their rented home in the neighborhood, but he left for a job in Jaipur 6 months ago and had regularly been sending his wife money since. She chose to gamble with that money playing Ludo, lost it all, and that's what led to her gambling herself. According to the statements made by the husband, the woman has since moved in with the landlord. Ludo is described as a fun-to-play multiplayer board game. Maybe they should add matchmaking game to that description. Oh, or home wrecking game.
Here's another example of why stupid will never go out of style. Newsweek reports that a woman in Spain lost her job after videos surfaced on TikTok of her dancing at a time when she was supposed to be off work with lower back pain. Social media screening is an increasingly common component of the recruitment process for employers, but that was lost on this unnamed female supermarket employee who had spent almost 9 months on leave due to lower back pain. But her alleged deception was uncovered by an area manager who subsequently informed the supermarket's human resources department of the existence of several videos she had previously uploaded to TikTok. The woman was subsequently fired, but she renewed her benefits claim and provided medical reports in an effort to prove her injury was legitimate. But in reviewing the case, the court concluded that the dance and movements executed by the woman in the video were incompatible with her ailments. According to a study by business services website The Manifest, 79% of HR officials admit to having rejected a candidate due to their social media content. This woman better remember that and scan her social media activity before she starts applying for her next position.
Yeah, I'm guessing her choice of attire probably gave her away. KFDX News reports that a woman dropped off several buckets full of what appeared to be human waste at the police station in Electra, Texas. It all started when an officer observed on security cameras someone putting something outside of the front of the police department. When he went outside, he discovered 3 5-gallon buckets, and he saw a person in an all-white hazmat suit with a yellow mask walking to a tan SUV with a trailer. According to the affidavit, the officer asked the person what they were doing, and a female stated that the buckets were human shit and that she was dropping them off. The officer said the female then got in the vehicle and drove off. A lieutenant with the Electra Police Department reviewed the security footage and recognized the woman's voice to be Mindy Jeanette Stevens, due to him speaking with Stevens earlier in the day in reference to the buckets of excrement. Stevens was then contacted and told to come pick up the buckets, which had a combined weight of about 50 pounds, or she could face charges. She refused, of course, and was charged with illegal dumping. Literally and figuratively, I guess. Oh, by the way, Mrs. Stevens just so happens to be the fire chief's wife. Sounds like there are a lot more layers to be peeled back on this story.
I guess inflation is hitting everybody in different ways. The Sun reports that a grandmother charges her family for making Christmas dinner, as well as the electricity required to prepare the meal. 63-year-old Carolyn Dudridge charges everyone, including her grandkids, for her Yuletide spread, with adults forking up to $18. The grandchildren, including a 12-year-old and 3 9-year-olds, $6, and 2 3-year-olds, $3. Carolyn explains how this is an annual tradition. "I log into my bank account and check who has made their Christmas dinner payment in November," she said. Carolyn added, "Once my naughty and nice tally is done, I do a quick ring around chasing my delinquent depositors and remind them to meet their payment date of December 1st. Carolyn says that this is not money grabbing, it just makes budgeting sense and spreads the cost fairly between everyone at the table. She says that expecting one person to pay for the entire meal and prepare it, clean up, and have their heating and electricity used is too much. She's been doing this since 2016 and isn't concerned if some people call her selfish. No one wants to be overwhelmed with debt, and it's unfair to expect one person to pay and make the entire meal," she said. "Stories like this remind me to call my mother to tell her I love her and can't wait for the holiday dinner."
I'm sure this tactic was successful in distracting people for all of 5 minutes. The Washington Post reports that the Chinese government came up with an idea aimed at reducing the flow of news about widespread protests happening in the country against coronavirus restrictions. What was the idea? Numerous Chinese-language Twitter accounts, some dormant for months or years, came to life and started spamming the service with links to escort services and other adult offerings alongside city names. As a result, anyone searching for posts from those cities and using the Chinese names for the locations would see pages and pages of useless tweets instead of information about the protests. And due to ongoing human resource issues at Twitter, including a radically reduced anti-propaganda team, it took hours for the issue to be resolved. Plus, Twitter didn't even spot it to begin with. Researchers at Stanford University and elsewhere did. One former Twitter employee said that this incident was another exhibit where there are now even larger holes to fill at the company. They added that all the China influence operations and analysts had resigned. Hopefully this idea doesn't spark the interest of Elon Musk, in case his reputation really goes to shit.
If you want to see all our videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, click the subscribe button below. I mean, hey, my cat's gotta eat.